Jesus quoting scripture that doesn't exist. Hey everyone, Jason here from Spiritualbabies.net. This is another episode of Two Witnesses, where we run through the Christian scriptures and pull the areas which are supposed to relate back to the Tanakh and see if those verses A exist, and B, if they do exist, we find out the original context and see if the New Testament, if the Christian Bible has nailed it. This week we're looking at John 7:38, in which Jesus says, "He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water." In this verse in John, Jesus is making the bold claim that somewhere in the scripture there is a prophecy. There's a prophecy that says that if a person believes in Jesus, and he says in me in the text, so clearly it's relating to Jesus, he's saying that in the Hebrew scriptures there's a piece of text, a prophetic text, that says if you believe in Jesus, out of your belly shall flow living waters. And this doesn't exist. Not only is there no piece of prophecy to say that out of your belly shall flow living waters, there's no piece of prophecy to say that anything will happen if you believe in Jesus. There's no piece of prophecy to say that you should believe in Jesus. Jesus isn't referenced at all by name, whether it's Jesus or Yeshua. There's no name used in the Tanakh which we can tie to a command to believe in that name. What Jesus has done here is actually a little bit crazy. He's pinned himself to an invisible verse, and not only that, Jesus stood up and proclaimed this to a crowd of people. One can only assume that this didn't happen. It's hard to imagine a historical Jesus in the land of Israel speaking to Jews who would stand up and profess and claim to a group of religious people that somewhere in their own book it says that they need to believe in Jesus, and if they do, there'll be a stream of living water coming from their stomach. As religious Jews, they're going to know that this isn't the truth, that this isn't a thing, this just doesn't exist. So I have to assume that Jesus didn't say this, and as we don't really know who the authors are to any of the Gospels, the names are just assigned by tradition, then it's kind of impossible to nail down who's responsible for this. But what we can say is that in this instance, Jesus' claim was baseless, the scripture doesn't exist, and the statement was a lie. So there we go, we're done. That was a nice quick one. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Come and visit me on spiritualbabies.net, and we'll see you all again very soon.